Diverse range of study options as well. So we've got courses that you can do in business, criminology and law, environment, architecture, health, humanities, languages, music, science and aviation, visual and creative arts. So there's a very wide range of options that you have at Griffith. In terms of strength of our university, we have a School of Business that ranks extremely well. It is in the top 5% of business schools in the world, and business and economics at Griffith as a subject ranking has been ranked in the top 200. So we do extremely well in business, and it's probably one of our largest faculties. We have environment is another huge area for Griffith. We were the first university in Australia to offer environmental science. And so in the 70s, that was sort of a little bit hippie, I suppose. But it's a huge strength of our university, and there's a lot of demand as well for that area amongst businesses, both government businesses, private businesses, etc. Health is a huge strong point with lots of different offerings. So we have dentistry, medicine, nutrition, exercise science, nursing, pharmacy, psychology, social work. And many of our health programs are taught down on our Gold Coast campus. So the Gold Coast campus has recently had a lot of development in the health space. Across the road from our university is the Gold Coast University Teaching Hospital. It's about a $2 million investment that has just opened up last year. And on our campus, we have a $40 million health building at the Gold Coast, which just opened last year. So that is meaning that we've got state-of-the-art health facilities, we've got a big dental clinic in there, and lots of facilities for all of our health students down on the Gold Coast. So many of our health programs are specifically taught down on the Gold Coast, but you'll find that a lot of other study areas have options at both Nathan in Brisbane or other campuses in Brisbane, and also down on the Gold Coast. So you're able to choose what lifestyle you'd prefer to live. We do a lot of work with the colleges in Ontario, so we work really closely with KOM consultants to help college diploma students upgrade their diploma to a degree at Griffith. So we have many pathway options available for students depending on what your diploma is. So in general terms, I saw a question before regarding how does the pathway course work. So if you've done, for example, a 1.5 year diploma, the minimum study duration in Australia will be 1.5 years. Most bachelor programs in Australia are 3-year programs, so we give you credit for about 1.5 years, depending on what program you've got. So if you've done a 3-year advanced diploma at one of the colleges in Canada, then you will have more credit awarded to you in most instances. And so some students, for example, if you've done a 3-year business administration course, many of those, advanced diploma I should say, many of those students can come into Griffith and complete their degree in as little as 1 year, so which is 2 semesters. So important to know about Australia is that we are upside down on the other side of the world. So we do start our semesters at different times to what you do in Canada. We begin in February and July every year. So if you're starting a full program, many have both intakes, as well as if you're transferring from a diploma from one of the Canadian colleges. But your articulation arrangements will stipulate whether you can start in February or July, or only February or only July. So KOM consultants are going to be the best people to speak to about application questions such as that. Australia, if you haven't been, it's a beautiful country. We are extremely laid back in Australia, and we enjoy being outdoors. Queensland is a very subtropical climate, so we have sun most of the year. We have, even in winter, our temperatures are around 11 to 22 degrees down on the Gold Coast. So I was in Canada earlier this year in your winter, and I must say that is something I have never experienced in Australia, and that's not something you can expect if you did come down to study with us. So in the summer it can be around maybe 32 degrees at top during the day, and in the evening it will be around 20 to 22 degrees in Queensland. So it's a very nice climate. We love our sport in Australia as well. So if you come down to Griffith, you might want to join one of our sporting teams. It's a great way to meet people, and it's also a way to enjoy the Australian way of life. Outside of sport in Australia, we have plenty of activities, social activities on campus that are run by our Griffith mates, who are both international and domestic students. They put on free events throughout the year to help, make our campus life a lot of fun. Because I think what's important is that, you're coming down to Australia, it's a big decision for you, and you want to ensure that you're having a great time as well as getting an internationally recognised top quality education. So we want to put on as many fun events that we can for you throughout the year, many of which through our Griffith Mates are free events. So are there any questions that anyone has about specific courses they want to do at Griffith? Any questions about what life is like on campus? I apologise that it didn't pause before. It told me that it had, so I can see some comments that it was going live, so my apologies for that. As I said, I thought it might be letting me know that the stream wasn't working properly, so sorry. So I'll wait a couple of moments just to see if anyone has questions. If not, I might briefly touch on accommodation options, and then if you have any further questions about the application process or you want to know more about Griffith, KOM consultants are your best contact. So KOM has been working with Griffith for many, many years now. They've sent lots of Canadians to Australia. So they're sort of experts in getting you to Australia and to Griffith. They help you with your application, getting your transcripts through, getting your visa as well to come to Australia. So they help you do everything that you need to do and board the plane. And then once you're on the plane, Griffith University will pick you up at the airport and take you the rest of the way along. So I can't see any questions coming up on the feed. I hope I've answered the question about how does a pathway course work, given that Griffith has the credit precedent database on our website. You can also access that through the KOM website, which identifies all of the pathways available at your particular college that you may be studying at. The information is also often available on the college websites themselves in the credit transfer pathway section. So if there are no questions, all I'll quickly tell you about accommodation is that you have both on-campus and off-campus accommodation options. The on-campus accommodation options at Nathan in Brisbane is relatively comparable to the cost of living off-campus, but the on-campus accommodation is more expensive than living off-campus. With off-campus accommodation, KOM can help you with that, as well as Griffith Uni. So we have a free minibus service at the Gold Coast campus that can take you around to look at accommodation options. And then you can, generally there's listings at Griffith that can show you where to go. You can use a number of different websites. Both the Gold Coast and Brisbane have a few big universities there, so people are used to students coming in and out depending on if you're there for 6 months, 1 year, or if you're coming for a full bachelor or master program. As Matt mentions there, try to apply 6 to 12 months in advance to KOM, because it's a big decision. There's lots of things you need to organise for yourself if you're coming down to Australia. It's not just the application. If you are moving, there's a lot of things to think about, your flight, your accommodation and everything. So KOM will help you 6 to 12 months in advance. Even if you haven't finished, if you're coming through the diploma pathway, if you haven't finished that and you're in your final semester, they can offer you we can offer you at Griffith a conditional offer based on that you pass your diploma program. Generally for diplomas, you need a 65% or higher to qualify for the pathway option. So I might leave it there. If there aren't any more questions, there's plenty of information on the KOM website about Griffith University. They will be able to help you with anything else that you've got, and they can shoot questions straight down to Griffith University if you have any. So thank you so much for your time this evening. I appreciate you tuning in, and we hope to see you down at Griffith sometime in the near future.